When nothing goes right, when your best isn't good enough, and the opposition appears to be 10 feet tall and throwing fire.
Back-to-back strikeouts to end the sixth.
Going home to see the faces of the people you do this for is sometimes all that's needed to reignite your fight.
The stadium is rocking.
With 50,000 plus, the Dodgers believe no obstacle is insurmountable. Game 3 in LA.
The headline in Game 1, walk off. The headline in Game 2, walk up. Now the Dodgers hope to write the headlines in Game 3 as the series shifts to Chavez Ravine. 2013 National League Championship Series coverage on TBS is presented by the Venture Card from Capital One. It's Game 3 in the National League Championship Series between the Cardinals and the Dodgers. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Along with Ron Darling, Cal Ripken, I'm Ernie Johnson in Los Angeles, the city that made the show Dragnet famous. And back then, it was just the facts, man. And the facts are these. In the first 2 games of this series, pitching's been great. The hitting has not. The Cardinals lead 2-0, and they have their ace, Adam Wainwright, going tonight. Now, those are the facts. Give me perspective.
Well, the good news is that the Dodgers are home, and they play really, really well at home, and their starting pitcher, Ryu, pitches really well at home. But the big news of the day is Hanley Ramirez is back at shortstop, Andre Ethier is in the outfield, and all they really have to do is win a game, and they're right back in the series.
How have the Cardinals done it? Well, I'll tell you, it's been starting pitching, young starting pitching. They have their ace going tonight. Their bullpen is unscored upon, but they remember last season. They had a 3-1 edge on the San Francisco Giants and let that get away from them.
Here's one more fact for you before we go. Only once in NLCS history in a 7-game series has a team lost the first 2 and then come back to win the series. The year was '85. The team was the Cardinals. They did it to the Dodgers, and now 28 years later, LA looking for some payback. The first pitch of Game 3 is coming right up.
The 2013 National League Championship Series coverage on TBS, presented by the Venture Card from Capital One, and brought to you in part by DirecTV. And T-Mobile's nationwide data is going global with coverage in over 100 countries at no extra charge. And by Orville Redenbacher's. It's game time. Get your Orville ready.
Well, that picture pretty much tells the story. Absolutely perfect. Late afternoon here in Southern California, 79 degrees, great forecast for Game 3 of the National League Championship Series. Tonight's batting order is brought to you by the Venture Card from Capital One. Same lineup that the Cardinals used in Game 2 against the left-hander. Matt Carpenter, Carlos Beltran, Matt Holliday, Yadi Molina in the cleanup spot. Then it's David Freese who scored the only run of Game 2. First baseman Matt Adams, then John Jay, who sacrificed fly, scored the only run. Pete Kozma and Adam Wainwright on the mound. Hyun-Jin Ryu on the mound for the Dodgers. Ronnie?
You know, Cal, you were talking about how Rio pitches so well at home. 15 home starts. His ERA is 2.32. Don Mattingly says if he's pitching well, you'll see a lot of ground balls, and most of his pitches will be on the knees.
And now one of the segments that is widely gaining popularity worldwide, Cal with the defense.
Playing behind Ryu is Carl Crawford, a Gold Glove winner in left field, Ethier also a Gold Glove winner, and Yasiel Puig in right field. Uribe and Adrian Gonzalez are on the corners. Mark Ellis and Hanley Ramirez is back at shortstop. Behind the plate, catching Ryu is A.J. Ellis.
And Matt Carpenter makes his way to the plate to begin Game 3. Hanley Ramirez, the 8th rib with the hairline fracture after he took that pitch in the first game. Missed Game 2, in there now in Game 3, which is essentially a must-win for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
That's really the biggest part of the story is you got Ethier and Ramirez to lengthen that lineup. If Ryu was watching the game that Kershaw pitched, first pitch of the game put in play by Carpenter for a triple, so he can't just lay in that first pitch.
Ryu admitting after pitching in the DS against the Braves that he was nervous in those 3 innings. He misses with the first one. We are underway here at Dodger Stadium. Thanks for being with us here on TBS. To left field where Carl Crawford had Carpenter played perfectly for the first out. This Ramirez.
It looks like when he really extends and reaches his arm out, that kind of exposes that rib. I tell you what, he was really impressive in batting practice. I was expecting him to swing the bat gingerly, but he hit a ball out of the right center field on the line in BP. He handled himself really well at shortstop too. He looks good.
Carlos Beltran takes a strike 0-1.
It only hurts when he tries to make a baseball play. I guess that's what you're saying.
Yeah, that little piece of video we just showed you came as they were throwing the ball around before play began here moments ago. Rio quickly ahead of Beltran. No balls and 2 strikes. Beltran, of course, knocking in the 3 runs in the opener. And saving the game for the Cardinals with his defensive play, the throw to the plate that nailed Mark Ellis.
You see that stat we showed you, though. Almost all of the damage she does is from the left side of the plate in the postseason.
A good sign for Rio, locating his fastball and keeping it down, getting ahead in the count. We didn't see that in the first start.
The 0-2 from the Dodger lefty, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
And the reason that's important is if you establish the fastball low, then to get the hitter looking down there at the bottom of the kneecaps, that's when the changeup becomes really deceptive.
The count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Beltran with 9 runs batted in this postseason. And has knocked in 34 in 41 postseason games in his career. He loves this time of year.
Back to the changeup, it looks like. You got to make the changeup a little closer to the strike zone than that. 3 attempts at it, trying to get him to swing at the ball in the dirt. It's too far out to be deceptive right now.
The catcher Ellis has said of Ryu, he's the Clayton Kershaw of Korea. And after being ahead 0-2, he walks Beltran with 1 down.
That changeup has to look like a strike at some point to the hitter, and that's what I was referring to. When you bounce it that far out, it never looks like it's in the strike zone. Big walk.
Brings Matt Holliday to the plate, looking for his first hit of the series. He's 0 for 8 with a couple of strikeouts.
Did I actually say big walk? Thinking about John Smoltz. A walk is the start of a rally in the playoffs.
The one good thing about Rio this whole season is that he's been great in inducing the double plays. 26 of them. That was 3rd in the National League. But on the other side, Wainwright was 1st with 32. So we could see some double plays today.
Ball on a strike to Matt Holliday. Ryu pitched for 7 years in the Korea Baseball Organization before the Dodgers signed him. Lost his major league debut and then went 12-2. And after that good run from August 19th through the end of the season, he went 2-5 But in those 5 losses, the Dodgers only gave him 7 runs.
Yeah, unlike the last game when we started and we were in the shadows from probably the first inning all the way to the 7th. You got a little bit of shadows, but for the most part, it's a pretty even area to look from a hitter. It's not that bad. A little shadows in center field will cause a little problem maybe in the first half inning or inning.
Beltran has a lead at first. Holiday in the air to right field. Puig. 2 down.
Got some style points, doesn't he? Even on the easiest to fly balls.
That just means he's very sure-handed.
Only takes one, Scal. You know how that works.
Yes, indeed.
There's Yadier Molina with Beltran at first and 2 out. Talked as we came on the air about the offenses for these 2 teams. Dodgers hitting 184. The Cardinals 134 through the first 2 games.
All you have to do is go back and remember who started those games. That's some really good pitching. That's normally what you see in the postseason. Offense is not going to generate that many runs off this kind of pitching.
Breaking pitch on 0-1, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, as opposed to the anemic hitting numbers, those dynamite pitching numbers through 2.
And the starters, there might even be an edge to the Dodgers right there. Greinke and Kershaw both threw the ball extremely well. Nothing to show for it.
And Greinke going 8 innings, striking out 10 also.
Molina fouls back the 0-2.
Now that fastball up out of the strike zone was by design. That's part of the way that he strikes out or gets people out. He'll elevate his fastball. But for the most part, if you're scouting him and look at him, he wants to get that fastball down to set up the changeup. That's by design.
Time is called, and Ryu was the last guy in the place to know it. Missed with the 0-2. That's Mike Everett calling the balls and strikes today.
I think Mike Everett's one of the best balls and strikes umpire in major leagues. He's usually right on top of his game.
That's the kind of changeup you want to throw, though. That's probably the best changeup he's thrown.
Strike 3 called to Molina. And we head to the bottom half of the first in Game 3. Tonight's batting order brought to you by the Venture Cards from Capital One. Carl Crawford leading it off for the Dodgers. You see Ramirez back in the 3-hole. Gonzalez hitting cleanup. Yasiel Puig is 0 for 10 in the series with 6 strikeouts. Uribe, A.J. Ellis, and Ryu rounding it out against Adam Wainwright.
Well, Adam Wainwright is 2-0 in this postseason with a minuscule 1.13 ERA. He only has 1 walk and 16 innings, but if he has an Achilles heel, in the first inning in the regular season this year, his ERA was 6.09.
First pitch to Carl Crawford, breaking pitch, misses 1-0. Wainwright's 32 years old. He's 6'7", 230. Beat the Pirates twice in the National League Division Series. And in those 2 starts, worked 16 innings, gave up 2 earned runs, struck out 15, and walked 1. The 1-1 to Crawford. Rounded to Pete Kozma at short, who throws him out for the first out.
You know, it's an interesting thing on this call. Very close pitch, called a strike. And after that, Molina started to argue with Mike Everett, but then kind of came off arguing because he's thinking to himself, I got to be out here in 5 minutes with my pitcher. I want that same pitch.
Yeah, a smart thing would be to go in there and then look at it real quick on the replay and come back out and say, hey, you know what? I saw it. You were right. Repair the damage that you might have done on the way to the dugout.
Is that the Cal Ripken diplomacy at work?
Yes, because you might regret doing just what you did.
No balls and 1 strike to Mark Ellis.
As a hitter, you always have to fight that catcher's rapport with the umpire. He's sitting there trying to work him and talking to him, and if you're listening to it enough, you got to go, no, that wasn't a strike. No, that wasn't a good pitch. You have to argue to take up for yourself every once in a while.
There's the Chevrolet pitch tracks on Adam Wainwright. Has one of the best curveballs in the business.
He throws a lot of fastballs.
Ran it inside and missed. A ball and 2 strikes.
This is probably the first time Adam Wainwright, since he's been in Little League, that he's the soft tosser of the starting staff. I mean, when you think about it, Kelly, Walker.
Breaking pitch missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
There's Walker on your left, Joe Kelly on your right, seeing who's got bigger hands.
You guys go ahead. I'm just going to have a Red Bull. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dodgers did beat Wainwright this year in his only start against him. That came on August 5th in St. Louis. And for his career, 4-4 with an ERA around 3.
He showed that was 69%, Cal, but that includes fastballs, and he throws a cutter also. 2 different fastballs.
Payoff pitch. Tried to check his swing. Ball got away. The tag applied. 2 up and 2 down as Wainwright registers his first strikeout.
Not really anticipating a curveball on here. Got fooled and got it out there a little bit too much. Tried to play it off. It didn't work this time.
Well, let's watch Hanley Ramirez now, who sat out game 2 with the sore ribs. Later diagnosed after a CAT scan as a hairline fracture of the 8th rib on the left side. Swinging at the first pitch. Shallow center. And that ball is going to fall behind Carpenter and in front of Jay. Ramirez on with a bloop single.
A little bit of miscommunication here. Carpenter might have been the only one to have a shot at this, but it's out there a pretty long ways, and all of a sudden he thinks Jay might have a better shot at it.
What he did is he took his eye off the baseball. I think it was up there so long, like you said, Cal, he thought that at some point he was going to be called off, and he never was.
I tell you, big power hitters will make the center fielder break back. They take a big swing and hit it right on the end of the bat. It looks like it's hit really well at first, and then you can't recover.
So with 2 down, here's Adrian Gonzalez, with Ramirez leading from first.
Remember, with over 50,000 people here, too, you cannot in center field hear that, how it hits the bat, whether it cracks it or not.
He took a nice, healthy swing, and I was just thinking Yadier was kind of in his head saying, okay, he wants to come up here and hit the first pitch. Let me start him off with a cutter or slider.
Breaking pitch stayed outside. Ball and a strike. Gonzalez 1 for 5 in the series. Has walked 3 times and struck out 3 times.
I don't know if you saw that, but Yadier kind of pointed to Adam Wainwright with his fingers to his eyes and saying, watch Hanley. You don't know, he might sneak off and steal this bag.
Checked his swing. 2-1. doesn't issue many free passes. Had 9 games in his 34 starts with no walks. 24 games with 1 or less.
Back to the slider here.
Another broken bat, and Carpenter flags this one down for the 3rd out. 1 inning in the books in Game 3 in L.A. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Everything Goodyear has learned making tires for superior performance inspires what we roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. Now those are some palm trees for you. Beautiful Dodger Stadium site for Game 3 of the National League Championship Series, and I would say that Ryu looks much better so far. Remember, in Game 3 against the Braves, first inning, 3 hits, couple of runs, and a walk. But this time around, issued a walk to Beltran, but struck out Molina to end the inning. Here he faces David Freese.
You know, nerves appear in a lot of different ways, and for him it was not being able to throw the ball to the plate, making some bad decisions defensively.
Ball and 2 strikes to Freese, who scored the only run of Game 2. Sacrifice fly by John Jay. Freese is 1 for 8 in the series, 4 for 24 in the postseason. And I thought it was really interesting to hear his comments as they took this 2-0 lead here to Los Angeles. He was the star of the 2011 World Series. As he grounds it to 3rd. Routine for Uribe. But what David Freese said was that he thinks more about the Cardinals losing the 3-1 lead to the San Francisco Giants in the NLCS a year ago than he thinks about the World Series win the previous year.
I think to a man, every one of those Cardinals feels that same way, that they want to. They are happy that they got the 2-0 lead, but they know that it can be very precious and go away.
That brings up Matt Adams. And the Dodgers put on the shift. 3 infielders on the right side.
You know, it's not really that you let your guard down. But sometimes you can play a little overconfident when you're up. And you got to remind yourself all the time, this game is important. Play it the same way.
The 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes to Adams.
Normally pitches around 90 or 91, but he reached back for a little extra, 94 with that high fastball. So he's got it when he needs it.
Pretty breaking pitch, 2 balls and a strike. Adams 0 for 7 in the series. He did hit 17 home runs in the regular season and stepped right in when Alan Craig, who led the National League in hitting with runners in scoring position, went down with his injury. Craig has been taking some BP, and Mike Matheny and the Cardinals certainly hope that if they should advance to the World Series, that Craig, who's not on the roster for this series, might be activated.
He's an RBI machine.
Strikeout number 2 for Ryu. And both of them looking.
Well, this was the most important thing coming into this game. Could he spot and locate his fastball? And right on the corner there for the strikeout. You know, you were saying for Cal, he reached back and gets 94. I think the Dodgers would like him around 91, 92, but on the corners as opposed to airing it out.
Here's John Jay. Broken record on a lot of these Cardinals, but he also looking for his first hit of the series. Cardinals with 9 hits in those 2 wins. In fact, winning game 2 with just 2 hits.
Well, he had the huge sacrifice fly after attempting a squeeze bunt. Was able to get the ball to left field off Clayton Kershaw for the game's only run.
Ball and a strike to the Cardinals center fielder. Here it comes. Checked his swing, fouled it off. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Rio looks pretty sharp with all his pitches right now. Got a couple breaking balls over behind in the count. Starts hit her off with a breaking ball. He's made some really good pitches with his fastball.
Upstairs, 2-2. Slow breaking pitch and just missed on the count full.
I like that sequence because the high fastball sets up the curveball. Because the ball starts on the same plane, it fools the hitter and brings it down. He fooled him, he just didn't make the pitch with the curveball down low enough. When you're getting all your pitches over the plate, you have options when it gets to 3-2. And the hitter has to cover all of them. You can't be on any one particular one from a power standpoint.
Again, the payoff. Tapped up toward first. Easy play for Gonzalez. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Ryu here in the second. They celebrate the Dodger history here in LA. Lots to show off.
Welcome back to LA, where the Dodgers will try to snap a 20-inning scoreless streak against the Cardinals. Yesterday, on off day, Don Mattingly scheduled a 2 o'clock workout, but nobody took the field for batting practice. He didn't mind. He said it's time to unwind, take the day off, get your mind set. Tonight, before taking the field, he actually spoke in Mark McGuire's hitting meeting. In both English and also in Spanish, a message delivered to Yasiel Puig. He said, keep it simple. Stick with a game plan. Don't try to do too much. Your teammates will pick you up. DJ.
Thank you very much, Craig. Ethier leads it off here in the bottom half of the second. He's had success against Wainwright. 303 career with 3 home runs.
I thought it was interesting that Ethier's hitting 5th, protecting Gonzalez today. And normally you might want to go right, left, and split it up for the bullpen reasons. But with Wainwright on the mound, you know you're going to get at least 3 at-bats with those 2 guys back-to-back, Gonzalez and Ethier. So maybe more protection for Ramirez.
Ethier slaps the curveball to second for the first out. And that'll bring up Yasiel Puig. 0 for 10, 6 strikeouts in the series. Take a look at Ethier on that left ankle.
Yeah, a little skip at the end. He's putting out, then he realizes he doesn't have his footwork right to land on the bag. He's out anyway. Maybe that's just, he's not favoring it. He just didn't want to step on the bag with the wrong foot. Donnie Mattingly checked with him though. You sure you're all right?
Puig swings at the first pitch and fouls it away 0-1. Mattingly had this to say to reporters when they were asking him about Puig, and he said Molina behind the plate does a good job of yo-yoing him, showing him enough breaking ball, showing him the fastball, then back to the breaking ball. End result 0 for 10 in the series. Ball and a strike.
That yo-yoing is unfair to the hitters.
Unfair.
Shouldn't allow yo-yoing in baseball.
A 1-1.
I will have to say, Yadier's always had that reputation, but watching him more closely and watching him go from pitch to pitch, he really does react to what the hitter reacts to. And that's not easy to do. There's been some pitchers like Greg Maddux was really good at reading what happened on a swing. Catchers sometimes can't quite see it because they're behind the batter. But Molina does.
Breaking pitch and a beauty. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, that's what Wainwright has. That's one of his biggest strengths. You're in a fastball count. He can counter with a curveball for a strike. Great weapon.
Saw the left knee buckle on Puig.
Now he wants the curveball in the dirt.
Checked his swing. And Bruce Dreckman, the first base umpire, said no, he did not go. 3-2.
He's so strong that you think he's going to swing it, but he's able to hold it back. Tiger Woods with a golf club.
Get back to it. No hesitation. Maybe a little hesitation.
The 2 Dodgers you saw there back in the lineup for game 3, Ethier and Hanley Ramirez. Puig waiting on a 3-2 and stays alive. Mike Matheny encouraging his guys and warning them also, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves with a 2-0 lead, but let's not forget what we've accomplished at the same time. Strike 3 called to Puig. 2 down in the second.
Well, that was the yo-yoing involved. Lots of curveballs, cutters, everything away. And then he surprised him with a fastball down and in. Puig thought it was low.
I thought it was low too. Just below the kneecaps from my perspective.
Wainwright got the call, 2 down.
So what about a pitcher's perspective?
I thought that ball was down. I absolutely thought it was down.
Mark that down. That's twice now that we've agreed.
Uribe taps it right back to Wainwright. And that is an easy 1-2-3 inning for the Cardinals. 2 in the books in LA. One of the greatest ever, Dustin Hoffman, in attendance here at Dodger Stadium. Follow the NLCS on TBS wherever you go with postseason.tv. Get alternate camera angles, live batting practice, real-time highlights, and more on desktop and mobile devices. Get postseason.tv for just $4.99 at MLB.com. Top of the 3rd in game 3. And Pete Kozma, the Cardinals' number 8 hitter, leads it off against Ryu and tries to bunt his way on 0-1. In the air to center field, Ethier back. 1 down here in the 3rd. So as the Cardinals won the first 2 games of this series, Beltran with the walk-off in game 1 and then the great pitching in game 2, hitting 134 through those first 2 games. No team has ever done that. Hit for that kind of a batting average and won the first 2 games of a postseason series. But the Cardinals got it done at home, and here they are with their ace Adam Wainwright on the mound and at the plate here in the 3rd.
Well, one of the better hitting pitchers, just like all the St. Louis Cardinal pitchers. Good athletes, good at the plate.
He's had 15 hits, and when called upon to sacrifice, has laid down 9 sacrifice bunts.
You know, some teams are better at it with their pitchers executing, but if you're going to play with the pitcher, it really helps to execute and get a hit or get somebody over to second base. I think more emphasis should be put on that all the way through the league, but some organizations do it better than others.
Well, if you're looking for an edge at any position, that's an edge that you could really quantify and get better, like getting bunts down and putting the ball in play.
Strike 3 to the Cardinals pitcher. Third strikeout of the night for Ryu. Now, this doesn't look like the same guy we saw in Game 3 against the Braves.
Well, this is the guy that pitched for them all season long. I told you the ERA at home, 15 starts, was 2.32. He's a guy that always mixed up his pitches all season long. Won 14 games for them.
Had a couple of complete Game 2 hitters in his rookie season against the Angels and the D-backs. Carpenter takes low and away, 1-0.
Well, it looks like he has the basic 4 pitches. Now with all the different type splits or different changeups, with the fastball, the curveball, the slider, and the change, and he does mix them very well.
On the corner, a ball and a strike. Carpenter flied out his first time. Has a couple of hits in this series after managing just one when the Cardinals beat the Pirates. Tapped up toward first. Gonzalez to Ryu covering. And that's another 1-2-3 inning. We're in the middle of the third in Los Angeles. To get exclusive behind-the-scenes access and expert opinions from the biggest names in sports, check out Behind the Mic, powered by Ford, on BleacherReport.com/Behind the Mic. Bottom half of the third inning here at Dodger Stadium in Game 3 of the NLCS. 8-9-1 due for the Dodgers.
Dodgers haven't scored in 21 innings. As an offense, you're in the lineup. Get a little testy? Do you everyone trying to do too much, or?
I'm in a bad mood, for sure. But yeah, I think it's just like hitting is contagious. Not scoring runs is a little bit contagious too, because you go up there and try to make it happen yourself, and you're just one part of the offense. Just stay within yourself, do what you can do.
A.J. Ellis takes a strike. That goes back to what Craig Sager said in his report too about the hitters meeting. Don Mattingly and Mark McGuire, and keep it simple and don't try to do too much.
That's easier said than done in the playoffs, because you have emotions. You're trying to contain those emotions, and especially if it's your first experience. Yasiel Puig, you can tell that he is all amped up, and you have to control that so you can perform.
Another great breaking pitch from Wainwright. 1-2.
I do like the hit and run in these situations, though, because it takes the onus off of swinging really hard. You just look for the pitch, not any particular pitch. You realize you have to swing and put the ball in play, and sometimes the hit and run play will get an offense going.
Two balls, 2 strikes to the Dodgers catcher. Nibbled at the corner and missed. Count full.
Molina's probably mumbling. He called me out on that one.
Wainwright with a 3-2. And Ellis stays alive.
It's interesting when you are pitching in a count, what you can do as a pitcher. 2-2, he tried to pick off that outside corner, missed. 3-2, though, he's got to get more of the plate, more advantage to the hitter.
Fastball away.
Wainwright is a great control pitcher in postseason now. Only 1 walk in 18 innings.
the same time with his 2 strikeouts tonight. Now 17 Ks in this postseason. Hit pretty well on a hop to short. Oswald Adams for the first out. And sometimes you can almost forget, because he's such a dominant starter now, that Adam Wainwright, when he got his first taste of postseason experience, was coming out of the St. Louis bullpen. That was in 2006. He had 4 saves. He worked 9 2/3, didn't allow an earned run. Got the final out of the World Series when he struck out Brandon Inge, and he got the final out of the NLCS when he got his current teammate Carlos Beltran looking, then with the Mets.
I remember that curveball. He's got a good curveball, but it was ridiculous at that point.
Ryu with kind of a half-hearted, get me out of here swing at that first one, 0-1. Down even. Ryu's okay, 207 with the bat. Knocked in 5 runs. Went 12 for 58 in the regular season. And had a sacrifice fly against the Braves in Game 3. 1-2.
If I remember correctly, it was almost to the track and right. So he's got a little power.
Put that elbow guard on to protect his throwing arm. Not the prettiest of swings. He gets the job done, but
Carl Crawford, the on-deck hitter, as we play in the bottom half of the 3rd. Down even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Strike 3 called to Ryu. 3rd strikeout of the night for Wainwright.
Left fielder, number 25, Carl Crawford.
Now back to the top of the Dodger order, and Carl Crawford, who grounded to short his first time. Big swing, comes up empty, 0-1. Last time Dodger fans saw Carl Crawford, it was the clincher against Atlanta when he hit home runs in his first 2 plate appearances.
And he performs well against the National League's top 10. Guys that have the most wins, he hits 375 against. And the guys that have the most Ks is a 353 hitter. And he's swinging the bat well right now. He's hitting the fastball to left center field, left field, and then driving the breaking pitch.
The 1-1. Just inside. Came into this game hitting 333 for the postseason. 3 homers and 5 RBIs. Some pop at the top of that Dodger lineup.
Yeah, I'm okay with throwing a curveball to him because that's an off-speed pitch. That slider is the one that's a little alarming. That's the one that he can take out of the outfield, out of right field.
1 hop to Carpenter at second. 3 up, 3 down here in the 3rd. We head to the 4th in Game 3.
Got ahead really quickly, and then he worked the walk. A couple change-ups down in the dirt that were too far out to swing at. Curveball.
Tried to check his swing, and he did, and the count's full.
Yeah, from the front, I thought he actually made a little bit more of an attempt, but from the side, you can see he did not.
On the ground to Ramirez, watching. Throws him out. Let's go down to Craig Sager. Segs.
Well, Ryu already has gone further than he did in that last outing against the Atlanta Braves. We talked to him yesterday with the translator, and he said he made too many mistakes early. He has to go out there and concentrate. His big battle, he says, is finding a good balance between how anxious he is and how nervous he has to be. As for the pressure of the postseason, he says, I've been there before. He's a 7-time Korean All-Star, won a gold medal at the Beijing Olympics, a silver medal in the World Classic. He says, anytime you have to win, I feel it's the same pressure, whether it's here in the United States or whether it's across the globe. PJ?
Thank you, Segs. Yeah, he's renowned as a real competitor. It was kind of interesting when you read transcripts of press conferences and that kind of thing, as Holiday takes outside. He was talking about only going 3 innings in that first game against the Braves and said, you know, it was nerves, and I'd be very happy to get 5 innings in this start, which is not exactly something that Dodgers would be thrilled with. But again, I think sometimes in translation those things get lost a little bit.
Well, I thought the interesting thing was, he said, nerves are an interesting thing. I want to be nervous. That's part of going out there. But don't get so nervous that you're trying to overthrow the baseball. He's a kind of tempo kind of guy, and he's in a nice tempo right now.
The 2-1 to Holiday. To first. Look at the play by Gonzalez. And Ryu covers. That's what Gold Glove first basemen do.
Waits a little long on this fastball, but still hits it very sharply. And Adrian is all over it. Nice flip.
That ball was smoked to his right, so fine play. And give it to the pitcher early, so it makes it a little easier.
2 up and 2 down here in the 4th. You saw Uribe speaking with Ryu on the mound. A.J. Ellis has talked about the fact that those 2 guys are pretty tight, but he has no idea what they could be talking about when they get together on the mound.
Well, what they do now is anytime a pitcher covers first, one of the infielders will come out and talk to him for a minute to let him catch his breath, I guess.
He jokes, and I saw this, you know, in an article that says he jokes and says, I just want to give him a little bit more time. He needs to catch his breath. They have a good relationship, good rapport back and forth.
Yadier Molina takes low, a ball and a strike. He was called out on strikes his first time.
Having fun is an international language, and I think that's how they communicate, through having fun.
Check this swing on the 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike.
You know, Molina is such an intelligent catcher. I think he translates that to his hitting and gets himself into where he sits on certain pitches, because that's what he would think about when he's behind the plate.
Fooled him at 82. And the count even. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs in the 4th.
Molina taking his time. The bat came out of his hand. He hurt his hand a little bit on that swing. I've had this happen before, Cal. It gives you a little stinger in your hand.
Sometimes the hand will slip off the bat a little bit, cause a little pressure. Sometimes you get your wrist locked a little bit, cause a little pressure.
3-2 pitch. Hit to fairly deep left center field, but Ethier had plenty of room. And that's another 1-2-3 inning for Ryu. We're in the middle of the 4th.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
A lot of zeros on that board. Only hit belongs to the Dodgers as we go to the bottom half of the fourth. It'll be Ellis, Ramirez, and Gonzalez to face Adam Wainwright.
You know, hitters like to get into a rhythm too, and you like to bat if you're the leadoff guy first and in the third inning. Sometimes you have to wait too long. You feel like you've sat too long without having an at bat.
Ellis struck out his first time and takes a strike. 0-1. And right away, Wainwright ahead 0-2.
Well, I know his former manager, Tony La Russa, likens Adam Wainwright to a pitcher he had in Oakland, Dave Stewart. And Dave Stewart had his stare, but Wainwright gets locked in also. All business.
Outside, you have conversations around the water cooler about the best golfer never to win a major. You can talk about pitchers who haven't won a Cy Young who are the best, and certainly Wainwright would be in that conversation. 2010 he was second to Roy Halladay. 2009 he was third but had the most first place votes. Tim Lincecum won it, and his teammate Chris Carpenter was second. But he won 19 games in 09 and won 20 in 2010. Then sat out 2011 after having Tommy John. A 19-game winner this year, tied with Jordan Zimmerman of the Nats.
And he's probably going to finish behind Kershaw.
Into right center field, John Jay, and Beltran let it fall in between them. And Ellis is at second, sliding with a double.
Yeah, there are a couple of plays here. These aren't going to be ruled errors, but they're an error in judgment right here. A little miscommunication on who's going to catch this. That's a catchable ball. Normally the center fielder takes charge. He has priority over the right fielder. That's a big leadoff double, which shouldn't have been one.
There was a day when Carlos Beltran would have called anyone off that baseball, but at this point in his career, it's John Jay who has to take everything.
You think back to game one and the play in which Beltran called off Jay to make the catch in right field and throw Ellis out at the plate. On this one, they stared at each other, the ball dropped, and Ellis stands at second in a scoreless game with nobody out. And here's Hanley Ramirez. He had a blooper fall between Jay and Carpenter in the first.
You know, sometimes there's a light ball. The ball gets caught in the lights. That wasn't a light ball, but sometimes it gets lost in the fans. And with everyone waving white towels, it's quite conceivable you're not tracking the ball real well in this stadium. That's definitely a home field advantage.
Ramirez takes, and the count even, a ball and a strike. If you're just joining us, Ramirez with a hairline fracture of the 8th rib on his left side, sat out game 2. Back in the starting lineup here in game 3 with the Dodgers trailing 2-0.
I think the interesting part we watched in game 1 where the Cardinals decided they were not going to allow Ramirez to beat him. We'll see if it changes tonight here with Wainwright.
I don't see him giving in. He's been throwing off-speed pitches, sliders, behind the count. He's out to make a pitch.
Beltran makes the catch. Ellis will tag, throw to third, late.
It's a great piece of hitting right here. Hanley tried to drive him in, but he hit the ball to the right side and moved Ellis up. Strong throw by Beltran, but a little too deep.
Beltran trying to throw out Ellis again on the bases.
So Ellis at third with one out for Adrian Gonzalez. Guy who knocked in 100 runs in the regular season and tied for the National League lead with 10 sacrifice flies. Cardinals bring the defense, the infield in.
The Dodgers have not been good at getting that runner in from third base here in this series. They're 0 for 5.
They hit .294 with runners in scoring position in the first series, .063 coming into this game.
As a hitter, you want to hit with a guy on third base and less than 2 out. Takes the pressure off the base hit. Use the big part of the field and try to drive the ball out there.
Turned on it and fouled it almost into the St. Louis dugout.
With this situation also, you'll get the very best from the pitcher on the mound. He bears down a little harder. He makes better pitches.
Sometimes it's a battle over who becomes more impatient, the pitcher or the hitter.
Adrian's pretty good at driving in runs. He's calm, swings at strikes, and he definitely uses the whole field.
And the Dodgers are on the board. Gonzalez sliding into second. And it's 1-0.
This looks like a slider or a cutter on the inside. 91 miles an hour, pulls his hands in. Gets jammed a little bit, but strong enough to muscle it down the right field line.
One of the few disagreements you'll see between Wainwright and Molina. Molina called for a curveball, he shook it off. Called for a fastball away, he shook it off, and he went to the cutter. Third choice is not a charm.
Here's Ethier. Swinging at the first pitch. Carpenter throws him out. Gonzalez moves to third now with 2 out here in the fourth. And now for a guy who has really struggled in this series. Big at bat with a runner at third and 2 down. Yasiel Puig.
I thought he had a really good at bat the first at bat. He fought all the way back and he got called out on a borderline pitch. You have to look at that as a successful at bat, in my opinion. He wasn't too jumpy. He fouled off some pitches, worked the count back to 3-2.
He has struck out his last 5 times at the plate. Waved at it, ball and a strike.
You know, everyone usually figures out that the Cardinals seem to play perfect baseball every October, but a mistake in this inning has been the difference.
Dodgers have 3 hits. 2 of them should have been caught.
Hard stuff in, soft stuff away. Going fastball away now, mixing it up a little bit.
Hit pretty well to right. Beltran back. That ball is off the wall. Gonzalez scores from third, and look at Puig. He makes the turn, and he is standing at third with a triple.
Puig thought he hit this ball out.
Yeah, that's the energy that the fans wanted, but he thinks it's gone. And then he has the ability to make it up just with physical speed to get all the way to third. He's watching it, celebrating it, and he goes, oh no.
I better make it to third.
And then he turns it on right about here.
Well, it would bother you if you were on the other team, but it's not bothering the Dodgers.
It snaps an 0 for 11 cold streak for Puig in this series, and it puts the Dodgers ahead 2-0. Here's Uribe. Uribe tried to hold up, couldn't. No balls and 2 strikes.
Wainwright pitching from the stretch. You never know. Puig might steal home.
You said the right thing. You never know. It's hard to take your eyes off him.
Uribe goes down on strikes, but the Dodgers, in 22 innings of frustration, they score twice, and we head to the 5th.
The 2013 National League Championship Series coverage on TBS, brought to you by Ford. For more Behind the Mic powered by Ford, go to BleacherReport.com/Behind the Mic, and by iShares by BlackRock. Visit iShares.com to learn more.
Top half of the 5th here at Dodger Stadium. And LA with 2 in the bottom half of the 4th. Ryu facing David Freese. Ball and a strike. Ryu's only allowed 1 base runner. The walk to Beltran in the 1st.
Well, this will be the biggest attempt at a shutdown inning here for Ryu.
I don't often do this, but the between innings interview we had with Don Mattingly is certainly worth a listen. He gives you his take on what he saw from Yasiel Puig. It's a ball and 2 strikes, and you'll hear that after the first hitter.
I often talk about it before it comes on.
That's right.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Freese grounded to Uribe his first time. Looper into right. Puig on the run. Dives but cannot make the play. Freese is at first with a leadoff single. And without further ado, moments ago, we spoke with Dodgers manager Don Mattingly. Well, Don, I know that 22 innings felt like a long, long time. Good to get on the board, and especially with the guy who was included in that offense, Puig, in that inning.
Yeah, it was nice to get on the board. Big hit by Adrian. And then Yasiel does his thing. I guess he thought it was way gone when he was looking at that one. But we'll take his, like I said, this kid, he's so emotional. And it's like he's playing Little League, It's just great to watch. But it makes you shake your head a little bit.
Yeah, up until last at bat here, it's been pretty uneventful. But that's good for Ryu.
Oh, no question. He's throwing the ball well. We talked about it earlier. He's been aggressive with the fastball on both sides. Been able to use his breaking ball, and the changeup always there.
Our thanks to Don Mattingly and to Mike Matheny earlier for their time. And see David Freese, they were checking on him. He's okay, and he leads at first. It was the first hit of the night for the Cardinals. And here's Matt Adams.
That was a heck of an effort by Yasiel. Almost catching. He was a little bit mad at himself that he didn't. I thought it was an impossible one to catch. But how fast he got up and still held Freese to a single.
Hit sharply into right under Ellis. And back-to-back hits for the Cardinals here in the fifth.
Center fielder, number 19, John Jay.
Just off the end of his glove, and then gets up really fast to get to the ball. It's an amazing athlete.
So Freese leads it off with that single, and then Adams follows, so they're at first and second with nobody out. And now the Cardinals are going to pinch run for David Freese. Daniel Descalso.
Watch when he was in the box and hitting, he kind of turned over his ankle. And then when he ran to first on that hit in front of Puig, he ran very gingerly, and then even more gingerly between first and second. So he's out of the game with an ankle problem.
So Descalso, the runner at second. Adams at first. And here's John Jay.
Freese had ankle surgery in 2010 on his right ankle. Cardinals are hoping that he didn't re-injure that leg.
So Ryu holding the Cardinals hitless through the first four. Allows back-to-back singles here in the fifth. All in a strike to the Cardinals center fielder. Rounded to first, his first time.
Some managers would think of the bunt in this situation, but you're getting down to the bottom of the order, your eighth and ninth hitter, so let Jay attack.
Ryu ahead, a ball and 2 strikes.
Maybe in a tie game, they might choose the bunt here to get the run scored first. But now down by 2, they're looking for a crooked number in this inning.
To left. Crawford had him played perfectly, and they're easily going to double off Descalso.
Easy play for Crawford. After he makes the catch, all you got to do is make a good throw. Just a bad read right off the bat. It looked like it might fall in there in the very beginning, but you got to be cautious down 2 runs.
About as bad a read as you'll get, because that was a routine play for Crawford.
So now 2 down and a runner at first for Pete Kozma.
You want to score, you want to get a good jump, but there's nothing wrong with bases loaded, no outs if it does land.
Well, you thought coming into this game the Dodgers would be tight, but it's the Cardinals who have had mistakes.
Miscommunication on defense and a double play that never should have happened here in the 5th. All in a strike to Cosma. One and two. Another look at Freeze, who's been lifted for a pinch runner. Descalso, who was doubled off on the looper to left.
I didn't see the twist at first base. It looked like he was just running a little gingerly and favoring it. With no real attempt to go for two. Which he had a shot. He had an outside shot. Puig made a nice play. But if he's running well and everything is fine, he's got an outside shot at trying to go for two.
On the ground to Uribe. He will go the short way for the 3rd out. Back-to-back hits to start the inning. Nothing comes of it for the Cardinals. We head to the bottom of the 5th. We are back. The upcoming schedule brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. We're here for Game 4. Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern on TBS. Day game on Wednesday if Game 5 is needed. And then, if needed, Friday and Saturday back at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Dodgers on top 2-0 as they hit in the bottom half of the 5th inning. And the catcher A.J. Ellis will lead it off. He looked at those first 2 games of the series and said, look, they beat our aces. Now we got to beat their ace. And it's something you got to be very careful. As a broadcaster saying, it has aces that they defeated. And but they did. They beat, Greinke and Kershaw went in the first 2 games. Cardinals came out with wins. And now it's Wainwright. And this ball is hit pretty well to right center field. Off the glove of Jay. And Ellis round second. He's going for 3rd, and he's in with a slide. The Dodger catcher saw that ball go off the glove and off the wall and never broke stride.
There's a drive hit really well to right center field. Jay makes a valiant effort, stretches all the way out off the end of his glove. I think Beltran got caught watching the play, and he wasn't over there in time, and Ellis takes advantage of it, stretches it into a triple.
Now here's the pitcher, Ryu. Cardinals down 2-0, bring the infield in. Ellis leads from 3rd.
That's why you can never get too happy with yourself if you got win the first 2 games at home, because that bottom of the 4th, top of the 5th, you can feel the momentum change in this series just in that little inning.
Two balls and no strikes. The glove of Wainwright, but Carpenter throws him out. 1 down with Ellis staying at 3rd. 1-4-3. Another look at Jay trying to make that catch in deep right center.
How that play usually happens is if center fielder is going there, the right fielder will speed up to back him up in case he doesn't make the catch. The ball comes off the wall, and you're right there. Beltran did not do that.
So Ellis still at third for Crawford in the top of the Dodger order.
Ryu had a pretty good at bat. Hit the ball fairly hard on the ground. Wainwright was able to get a glove on it. And unintentionally direct it to Carpenter.
Ball and a strike to Crawford, who was grounded to short and grounded to second. Does have 5 RBIs this postseason, but none in this series. Ellis stands 90 feet away.
You know, squeeze is always a possibility, but I don't feel it here. Crawford's been swinging the bat pretty well. Mattingly's going to let him drive in that run. I tell you what, Wainwright has pitched him right where he can't hit it, and that's in. He's made a pitch. He's elevated the cutter. He's actually got the cutter in. He's tying Carl Crawford up with that inside cutter or slider.
When you live in, though, got to make sure you don't misguide the pitch and throw it down and in.
Waved at strike 3. Big out for Wainwright right there. 2 down now, and Ellis still standing on third.
Well, that's the great equalizer for Wainwright, is that great breaking ball. He can throw a couple different speeds. You talk about a guy controlling his curveball. Well, he controls it not only for strikes, but when he gets ahead, he's able to pinpoint it in the dirt to get the strikeout.
And from a hitter's perspective, the spin of the slider looks like the spin of the hook. And Carl Crawford was fooled by the speed of the hook.
Strikeout number 5 for Wainwright. Here's Ellis, who doubled his last time. On the ground to short. Cosma throws him out. Leadoff triple, but Wainwright shuts the door and keeps it 2-0 through 5. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Everything Goodyear has learned making tires for superior performance inspires what we roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. Zipping right along into the 6th now in Game 3 of the National League Championship Series. And Adam Wainwright leads it off against Ryu.
Last year when the Cardinals had their edge over the Giants 3-1, it was Barry Zito, a left-hander, who pitched a fantastic game. Ryu trying to replicate that here.
Fouled off, and that bat goes right into the camera well. Hope everybody's okay down there.
The bat just simply slips out of his hand. Thank goodness nobody was really hit with that. That's a dangerous potential situation.
Kind of almost protected by the camera.
Ball and a strike. 1-2. Wainwright struck out his first time. Ryu has fanned 3 and walked only 1. That was Beltran in the first. Cardinals didn't get their first hit until the 5th.
Wainwright keeping the game 2-0, and that last thing was big. Man on third, 3 shots at getting him in. He didn't allow it.
on the ground to Uribe. Wainwright running hard to first. They got him by a step, 1 down. Oh, and you look back at the 5th inning for the Cardinals too. Lead-off single, and then Adams follows. But then the blooper to left turned into an unexpected double play as Crawford doubled off Descalzo. Now here's Matt Carpenter in the top of the St. Louis order. He's 0 for 2. 3 for 28 in the postseason. And this from a guy who put up MVP-type numbers in the regular season.
But the Cardinals all year underperformed versus left-handed pitching. 238 average against left-handed pitching, 280 against right-handed pitching, and their record was 19-23 when a left-handed started the game.
Ryu jumps ahead 0-2. Fouled off at the plate. It stays 0-2. These 3 games couldn't get much tighter. 13 innings for the opener. 3-2 win for St. Louis. And then the Cardinals win 1-0 in game 2. It's the Dodgers leading 2-0 at home here in game 3. Grounded to second. Ellis to Gonzalez, 2 up and 2 down here in the 6th. And that will bring up Carlos Beltran with 2 down here in the 6th. Innovative stat brought to you by Nissan.
Outfielder number 3, Carlos Beltran.
And the highest postseason OPS. And Carlos Beltran in some pretty lofty company with Gehrig and Ruth.
I don't know if lofty is the right word.
Rarefied air.
It's impressive.
Slugging percentage plus on base percentage. How many stats did you pay attention to when you were playing, Cal?
I tried to pay attention to no stats, actually.
Hard to do in the game these days.
It is. Scoring runs and driving in runs.
And games played, possibly.
Games played. That turns out to be what I was known for, I guess.
26-32 if you're scoring at home.
Mike Everett and A.J. Ellis having a little word. Rio threw 3 baseballs back before he found one he wanted.
In the air to left. Easy for Crawford. 1-2-3-6 for Ryu. Dodgers trying to break through in this series, and they lead 2-0.
The 2013 National League Championship Series coverage on TBS. Brought to you by the all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado. Strong for all the roads ahead. And by Edward Jones.
Dodger Stadium, Los Angeles. We move to the bottom half of the 6th inning. And the Dodgers down 2-0. Lead in game 3, 2-0. Against Adam Wainwright, who faces Hanley Ramirez. Descalzo, nifty stop at third, 1 down.
First pitch curveball. I wouldn't say that Hanley was sitting on it, but saw it really well. Hit a short ground ball. Again, he makes a nice play.
Descalzo is so versatile for these Cardinals. He can play second, third, and short.
Here's Adrian Gonzalez. He knocked in the first Dodger run. He shortened up and had Descalso charging from third.
I can't believe that was real, because it was a strike. If you're really going to do it, that's the pitch to do it on. He was just taken. Maybe try to position him a little bit closer. Hanley's looked like he swung the bat okay tonight. Hit a couple balls off the end. Big productive out on the fly ball to right that set up the first run.
I was going to say, Cal, if you just walked into the ballpark and started watching this, you wouldn't say, oh, look at this guy playing with a hairline fracture of the rib. This was Adrian Gonzalez in the fourth, scoring Mark Ellis, who had doubled.
Adrian takes what the pitcher gives him.
In the air to left. Holiday started back, comes in and makes the play. 2 up and 2 down. MLB Fan Cave is coming back in 2014. Players, celebrities, concerts, and much, much more. You can be part of next season's team. All you got to do, go to MLBFancave.com and apply right now. The word we're getting from the Cardinals is David Freese had right calf tightness, and that's why he was lifted for a pinch runner, Descalso. Here's Andre Ethier, who's 0 for 2. Twice hit the ball to Carpenter at second. Looking bat pop up, and again it's going to be Carpenter who squeezes it. 3 up and 3 down in the 6th. We head to the 7th at Dodger Stadium. Here's a look at our Liberty Mutual pitcher comparison. Adam Wainwright, the ace of the St. Louis staff, being outdueled tonight by Hyunjin Ryu.
Well, isn't that what has happened in this series? Is that the young pitchers for St. Louis outpitched Greinke, outpitched Kershaw, and now it's Ryu who's trying to turn the tables.
We make our way to the top half of the 7th inning. 3, 4, and 5 for St. Louis. Holiday fouls the first pitch off the end of the bat. 0-1.
No, in reality, it's not the pitchers pitching against the pitchers. They're pitching against the offense. And you want your pitcher to keep you in the ball game. And these pitchers keep them in the ball game, give them a chance to win. That's all you can ask from any starters.
Ryu went 3 very shaky innings in his first postseason start against Atlanta. Only went 3 innings. And here against St. Louis, he is shutting them out through 6.
I think young pitchers sometimes make the mistake of pitching against legends or guys that are Cy Young guys, and they think they can't give up a run, and consequently they pitch too carefully. We have not seen that in this series.
Just that was a nice phrase. Just stay with them. Stay as close to them as you can. And like you said, give your team a chance to win.
Dodgers gave Ryu 2 runs in the 4th, and he's made him stand up. Here comes the 0-2 to Holiday.
High fastball.
Right you are, out of the zone, 2-2.
We've seen Ryu use the breaking ball behind the high fastball. I don't like that pitch right here.
Broke his bat, squibbered a second. Ellis to Gonzalez, 1 down. What you got, Craig?
Well, Ryu obviously very, very popular, #1 athlete in Korea, but the Korean population in LA is in excess of 1 million people. 120,000 live within 2.7 miles in Koreatown in central LA. They are obviously very excited watching this game tonight. When he pitches during the regular season, the Dodgers get a boost of about 10 to 15,000 of them who meet en masse. In fact, the Dodgers say when he pitches, they get a bigger boost in attendance than we do with Clayton Kershaw.
Thank you, Craig. Here's Molina. Ryu was sit down 6 in a row since those back-to-back singles to start the 5th. Huge play on the fly ball to left when Descalso was doubled off. That's pretty. 2 balls and a strike.
You almost say to yourself, if you're the team that's behind in the series, maybe the worm has turned here a little bit in our favor.
Hit it right on the screws to center. And Ethier, no catch. Molina's on with a single here in the 7th.
Well, you could really tell on that play that Ethier's mobility is compromised.
Line drive, sometimes it's hard to read right at the center fielder. I don't think it was going to be a catch anyway. Didn't quite get to it. Caught it on the short hop.
So a 1-out single for Molina. And here's Descalso batting for the first time.
Starting to see a little action down in the bullpen too. It's around the time of the game where you have to be prepared. You start to play the matchups in your mind.
No balls and 2 strikes. J.P. Howell up and throwing in the Dodger pen. Descalso's 1 for 1 in the series. And he scored the winning run on the Beltran hit in game 1.
The best job by Ryu tonight has been his pitches inside. He got an out to start the inning. Matt Holliday, he just jammed Descalso there.
Here comes the 100th pitch for Ryu, and it's way upstairs, 2-2. Molina's the runner at first, inching away, and here's the pitch to Descalso outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Still just a 2-0 game, and you look back at how Wainwright got out of that trouble spot after the leadoff triple. Fouled off right there at the plate. And we'll do it again, 2-2. Dodgers were 51-2 this year when leading by at least 2 runs after 6. Stakes a lot higher tonight. On the ground to Gonzalez. There's one. And he beats the wrap at first. Almost turned the 3-6-3. But Descalso beat it by a half a step.
This is not bad. I mean, you want to make sure you get in with a lead. You want to make sure you get the lead runner. And then it's a bonus when you get the double play. Descalso just hustles down there and barely beats it.
How about the play of Ramirez? He came off that bag pretty early on that throw.
Yeah, I didn't want to mention the neighborhood play. I think if you have credibility as your as a shortstop where you touch the base all the time, there are times when then you can cheat it just a little bit. I think he might have cheated it a little bit that time.
Here comes Don Mattingly with the interpreter and the rest of the Dodger infield. He will stay in to face Matt Adams, lefty-lefty. And take a guess, Ronnie. What did the interpreter have to say?
I think what managers have been asking pitchers forever. How do you feel? Do you have strength left? Do you want to face this hitter? And through the interpreter, he said yes, resoundingly. You knew that when Mattingly went out there with the interpreter, he wanted to get some questions answered.
They shift with Adams at the plate. Ellis digs it out of the dirt, 1-0.
I was just thinking many times the pitching coach goes out there to find that question out. And in that particular case, it's almost like the interpreter, when you get it third hand, like you normally get it from your pitching coach when you come back. You want to eliminate one of the steps.
That's right.
And here at first hand.
Adams had 3 home runs this year versus left-handed pitching.
One ball, 2 strikes.
So I guess Mattingly had made up his mind if he didn't hear the right answer, and that he was going to go right to the bullpen.
Another huge crowd here at Dodger Stadium in the neighborhood of 55,000. And they're all on their feet. What a night for Ryu. Shutting out the Cardinals through 7. They stretch Chavez Ravine with LA on top, 2-0. ...2013 National League Championship Series coverage on TBS presented by the Venture Card from Capital One. Move to the bottom half of the 7th inning. And Yasiel Puig will lead it off. He snapped an 0 for 11 skid in this series, which had included 7 strikeouts with a triple in the 4th. And he knocked in the second of the 2 Dodger runs.
On Yasiel, I got to look for the breaking ball. I've already proved I can hit the fastball.
There was the breaking pitch, and it's 0-2.
This one he starts at him, bends it over that inside corner.
They can yo-yo you when you're not hitting, but all of a sudden you hit one of the pitches, you're a little bit more in charge. Let me look for the other one now.
Struck him out in his first at-bat on a fastball in. He's giving them all curveballs. Will he try one fastball in?
You got a chance also to try to cut her down and away, make him swing off the plate. I'd go fastball in.
Fastball up.
Yeah, they chose to try to make him chase out of the strike zone up.
Should go back to the curveball down now, right?
Yes. The high fastball does tempt you, and then the curveball, especially if you have a big curveball like Wainwright, starts at the same location. He laid off the fastball, and then came back with a hit.
Base hit left field. Puig around first. Wide turn and retreats. A leadoff single here in the 7th. So after an 0 for 11 start to the series, 2 out of his last 2.
Keep it simple, I guess he has.
That was the message from Don Mattingly and Mark McGuire in the pregame meeting to the Dodger hitters. Keep it simple. Here's Juan Uribe, the guy who put the Dodgers in this series with the 2-run homer in the 8th in the clincher against Atlanta.
No, sacrifice bunt is an option here. I'd really like to hit and run though.
Rounded to short. Cosma to second for 1 to first. Double play. (6-4-3) double play turned by the Cardinals. 2 out here in the 7th. Be the first to know the latest news on all your teams with Bleacher Report's Team Stream app. Stay one step ahead. Check out Team Stream on your phone's app store today. Cosma, Carpenter, and Adams hook up on the 6-4-3, and that brings up A.J. Ellis.
Wainwright's so good at inducing the double play and wiping out that threat. But the Dodgers had a chance to do something, you know, being up 2 runs, either bunt or hit and run.
He led the majors, inducing 32 double play ground balls. The catcher Ellis tripled his last time. A ball that glanced off the glove of John Jay in center, ricocheted off the wall, and Ellis motored into third. But the Dodgers stranded him there.
Watch what Puig does here, Cal. Supposed to take the guy out on a double play, right? Never slid.
Stayed up, yeah. I don't understand that. And that's a little inexperience. He's fast enough to get down there to break up the double play. The infielders know he's coming.
Descalzo right on the line, throws out Ellis, and that'll do it for the Dodgers in the 7th. It's a 2-0 game as we head to the 8th, game 3 of the NLCS.
It's the top of the 8th inning here in Los Angeles, the National League Championship Series. Time for the Bank of America game break, and Big Papi, David Ortiz, with a big blast, a grand slam in the 8th inning. They split the first 2 games in Boston. Now they head to Detroit, where John Lackey will take on Justin Verlander. Game 3 tomorrow on Fox. DJ.
Join Joe Buck and Tim McCarver and Ken Rosenthal, Aaron Andrews for their coverage on Fox. That was unbelievable last night at Fenway. Brian Wilson on the pitch here in the 8th in relief of Ryu, who shut out the Cardinals through 7. Go ahead, Ronnie.
Sorry, Ernie. I was just saying in the short time with the Dodgers, he's worked his way all the way up to the setup man, the bridge to Kenley Jansen.
Right up the middle by John Jay to start off the top half of the 8th. Jay's first hit of the series brings the tying run to the plate.
Attention, please.
Looks like a backdoor cutter, slider for the outside corner. Jay stays right on it and drills it up the middle.
Colton Wong has a bat. He will pinch hit for Pete Cosma. Wilson in his postseason career has not allowed an earned run. He was tremendous with the Giants and very effective here with the Dodgers as he runs that one inside and misses a ball and a strike.
Before surgery, he would throw his fastball and pitch around with his slider. Now he's totally different. He uses his slider and he'll use his fastball almost backwards.
Wong waiting on Ryan Wilson.
Yeah, from a hitter's perspective, that little short cutter that he starts on the outside part and brings it back to the corner, and then he'll come in with his comeback fastball, so the ball is moving in two different directions.
Up and away, 2-2. Wong, a product of the University of Hawaii, was called up in August after hitting better than 300 with 20 stolen bases in Memphis, their AAA team. He waits on a 2-2. Strike three call, one down.
This is that comeback fastball we were talking about. Looks like it's in. Colton thinks it's in, but it tails back and catches the inside edge of the corner.
Well, Mike Everett has called this low fastball for a strike all night long.
It's a pretty good pitch right there.
And now with Wainwright due, another pinch hitter, it's Adrian Chambers. He's been to the plate once in this series and struck out.
Pendo giving the signs on the left, Chambers in the box, and John Jay on first.
Off the corner. Ball and a strike.
And all the infielders should be thinking right now that, hey, let's make sure of one out. Let's not try to turn a ground ball into a double play and make a mistake. We have a 2-run lead. Let's make sure of the first one.
Missed inside, 2-1.
Wainwright hoping for a couple of runs, talking to Chris Carpenter.
On the ground to second. Ellis, there's one. And as you noted, Cal, make sure of one. Not really a double play ball with a speedy runner like Chambers. That's 2 out, and Chambers at first.
That's a smart play because you need outs right now, and there's a tendency to want to try to turn that ball into a double play, and then you end up with an error, maybe first and third, and then you're in trouble. Nice heady play.
Here's Matt Carpenter in the top of the St. Louis order here in the 8th.
Just waiting for one of these Cardinal hitters against Wilson to look away for that cutter or slider on first pitch.
The dangerous Carlos Beltran on deck.
I've been really impressed with Wilson's ability to control the outside edge and the inside. His control has been fantastic. Left-handed hitters against him in his post-career. 4 for 30, all singles. Here's the backdoor cutter again. Starts away, comes back to the outside edge. Ooh, made a mistake with that one.
Pitchers, sometimes you tend to forget you do get mistakes back occasionally.
No balls, 2 strikes. Carpenter caught looking to end the 8th. Ryan Wilson does the job. We head to the bottom half.
Moving from third base to shortstop, number 33, Daniel Descalso.
Here's a look at our Avocado All-Stars moment. The Dodgers, after going scoreless for 22 innings in this series, scored twice in the 4th. Adrian Gonzalez knocked one in, so did Puig. And so we stand at 2-0 heading to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Colton Wong stays in the game at second. Matt Carpenter moves from second to third, and Daniel Descalso moves from third to short. And Michael Young is the pinch hitter against the new Cardinal pitcher, Kevin Segrist.
Well, Segrist appeared 45 times in games for the Cardinals. 43 of them were scoreless. Needs one here.
Young is 0 for 3 in the series, 1 for 6 in the postseason. And he leads off the bottom half of the 8th. Dodgers trying to pad that 2-0 lead. On the ground to short. Descalso throws him out. 1 down.
The Cardinal bullpen has now been out and not scored upon in 9 2/3 innings.
But the story in this series so far, aces being trumped. Wainwright leaves the game, trailing 2-0. Kershaw and Greinke couldn't win on the LA side in St. Louis. Here's Carl Crawford, late, 0-1.
I was talking to the Dodger pitching coach, Rick Honeycutt, about the bullpen of the Cardinals. His question was, where do they get all these guys?
It's like the old Butch Cassidy. Well hit toward left center. No catch. Jay was diving, but couldn't corral it. Crawford is going to stay at first.
John Jay has a beat on this, couldn't quite get to it, then lands on it. Carl Crawford with great speed, thought about going to second base, but Jay comes up and throws from his knee and keeps him at first base. Oh.
Mark Ellis is due up for the Dodgers, and that'll be it for the left-hander Segrist, who retires Michael Young and then gives up the single to Carl Crawford. The 2013 National League Championship Series coverage on TBS is presented by the Venture Card from Capital One. We're in the bottom half of the 8th. Dodgers leading 2-0. trying to break through into the win column in this series after dropping the first two in St. Louis. Mark Ellis comes to the plate, and Seth Maness, the third Cardinal pitcher.
Well, Maness is a double play machine, induced 16 this season. Let's see if he can do that to the Dodgers, or the Dodgers can counter by Carl Crawford stealing a base.
Ellis is 1 out of 3 with a double and scored a run in the fourth. Pitch out, and Crawford going nowhere.
Well, Ellis is one of the guys they will hit and run on, and they were sniffing that out right there, pitched out, just in case to hit and run.
Misses with the 1-0, 2 balls and no strikes.
Now, of course, the pitch out could have been for the stolen base, but the way he quick pitched it to the plate, normally you don't quick pitch a pitch out. You want to stay normal and rely on the pitch out to get the guy out at second base. You don't want to go extra slow, but by quick pitching it a little bit, I thought it was more about the hit and run.
Two balls and a strike to the Dodgers second baseman.
And this is a classic count to do a hit and run. More than likely they won't pitch out in a 2-1 count, although they do.
Molina directing the defense. Descalso moved a couple of steps over.
What a way to celebrate your 25th birthday. Maness today turning 25.
I was going to say, how'd you know it was my birthday today?
And on the big stage, they throw over, Crawford back.
Molina's definitely sensing something's happening right now. Fastball away. Shortstop should be covering.
Lined into left field. Base hit for Ellis. They're at first and second with 1 out.
Looks like he missed location all the way from one side of the plate to the other. Ellis put a nice short swing on it, lined it into left field.
I don't know if this is the birthday present that Maness was looking for. Hanley Ramirez with 2 on.
Ramirez singled his first time, a blooper that found a little grass out there in center field. Flied to right, grounded to third. Playing with a hairline fracture of a rib on the left side. Broke his bat over second. Won't get there. And they're going to wave Crawford. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe. Mike Matheny immediately out of the Cardinal dugout.
Jam job right here. Carl Crawford does not break right away because he doesn't know if he'd be caught. The play then goes to second base. Carl Crawford does not stop all the way there. Molina with a nice tag, but he looks like he might have got in there.
Well, Molina tries to put his foot in front of home plate, but Crawford might have got through it. Watch that left foot. I think he caught the back of the plate before the tag was applied. Gonzalez with the help with the slide.
The ball definitely beat him to the plate. Molina, as a catcher, takes the ball a little bit in front of home plate because you don't know where the runner is. If he could have acted more like a shortstop or a second baseman, taking his throw down there, let the ball fly a little bit more, and then make the tag. Very difficult for a catcher.
8th inning insurance for the Dodgers. It's 3-0 as the Cardinals go to the pen. Really close, but from the angles we see, Mike Everett got it right at the plate.
There's a sweep tag coming in. Looks like Carl might have got his foot in there right before the tag.
Everett in good position. As close a play as you're going to see.
Question is whether his foot really raked across home plate or not. That was hard to see. His toe was up in the air, but it might have been the bottom of his foot. If he touches the plate in the initial slide, he's safe.
Bottom line, 3-0. Runners at first and second with one out for Adrian Gonzalez. Randy Choate on in relief. Will get the out. From Carpenter to Adams, the runners move up to second and third.
Center fielder, number 16, Andre.
So for the first time in this series, Randy Choate faces somebody other than Carl Crawford, who he retired on 2 foul pops to third. He retires Gonzalez on the grounder. And here's Andre Ethier.
The thing about that play at home is that a little more experienced second baseman would have stood up after that ball got over his head long and would have looked up and checked the runner at third base while he was going. That way it wouldn't have been the transfer to Descalso. It would have been an easy play at home.
Yeah, there's no real play at second base on that. Descalso did a nice job of recognizing to catch it and relay the ball directly to home.
Sometimes when you're a young player, you just want to get that ball out of your hands.
Outside to Ethier, who was 0 for 3. Rounded to second twice and popped to second his third time. Dodgers 3 for 10 with runners in scoring position after going 1 for 16 in the first 2 games.
No secret to facing Randy Choate. You're going to get an occasional fastball, but mostly sliders to the left-handed hitters.
Over for a strike. 2-1.
There's the occasional fastball. Kind of surprised him, but made a good pitch low in the strike zone. Little sink on it.
Ellis at third, Ramirez at second. With 2 down here in the 8th. The Dodgers have given themselves a little more breathing room with that run here in the 8th. Up the corner, 2-2.
You almost can feel Ethier thinking about that breaking ball, taking 2 fastballs He should stay stubborn. This is where he's going to get a breaking ball.
Struck him out to end the 8th. But the Dodgers pad the lead. It's 3-0 heading to the 9th. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Everything Goodyear has learned making tires for superior performance inspires what we roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. The St. Louis Cardinals are going to try to do something they've never done in their postseason history, and that's overcome a deficit of at least 3 runs in the 9th inning or later. And they'll have to do it against the Dodger closer, Kenley Jansen.
Well, once they inserted him as the closer in midseason, tide really turned for the Dodgers. It was not only Puig and getting back Hanley Ramirez, but Jansen also.
He'll face Carlos Beltran to lead off the 9th. He turns around to bat left-handed after 3 plate appearances against Ryu. He went 0 for 2 with a walk against the lefty.
Fastball 94% of the time. It's basically this consistent cutter. And it's hard.
He's a big pitcher who has kind of like an easy approach to the plate, easy straight over the top, and the ball just seems to jump on him.
Pops up the 1-1. A.J. Ellis discards the mask and squeezes it for out number 1. Here's another look. You talked about the play Wong made in right center and about Wallach, the third base coach.
Yeah, Wallach had made up his mind. He was sending him. At first I thought that he read the throw to second base and sent him, but he was having Crawford go the whole way. And if Wong would have come straight to home, that would have been, he'd have been a dead duck making good throw. But good aggressive baseball. They end up manufacturing that extra run. Big run.
Here's Matt Holliday. He's 0 for 3 and 0 for 11 in the series.
You know, you couldn't even consider that if you didn't have Crawford's speed coming in there. Yeah, maybe with Puig, but you got to have somebody that can run and cover ground and get there as fast as Crawford just did.
Just missed a ball and a strike.
That's got to be a strike right there, doesn't it? A cutter on the ball that ends up right there on the edge of the plate. Pitch track says it is.
Fouled away on the 1-1. And Jansen ahead of Holliday. Dodgers coming into this game, having dropped the first 2 and having to face the Cardinal ace. And they're 2 outs away from making it a 2-1 series.
Hanley looked pretty good today. Moved around pretty well, swung the bat well.
Dropped a couple of hits in. Broken bat variety.
I just like his presence in the middle of that lineup.
Nick Punto on for him defensively here in the 9th. That's out of play.
It's like the collateral effect of having Hanley in the lineup. It moved Puig down to the 7th hole. He had his best game in this series.
There's a balance and a stability that the lineup has. And the Dodgers have had that stability with Hanley right there in that 3rd spot.
Rounded to second. Gobbled up by Ellis. The Cardinals shut out the Dodgers in Game 2. LA trying to return the favor here in Game 3. And here's Molina. Strikes from Jansen.
Unlike the most famous cutter of a closer in baseball, Rivera's is almost the same every single time. Jansen, not as much. Sometimes it'll cut, sometimes it'll stay straight.
So the Dodgers a strike away from getting right back into this series.
Kenley's getting loose now, 97.
Molina has a hit in 3 trips. Singled his last time in the 7th. And he's battling Jansen here with 2 down. Time called as A.J. Ellis wants to meet with Jansen.
As we were looking at Magic there, I was saying there's only one bad seat in this house, the seat right behind Magic.
He knows his share of postseason drama, doesn't matter what the sport.
So offer up a guess at what the meeting was. A.J. Ellis ran out there. A lot of cutters. Were they talking about a breaking ball, mixing a pitch, or location?
I think location. I think they're just trying to change it up. Do something a little different to Molina, so they countered with that inside cutter.
Shattered his bat to short. Punto throws him out. And the Dodgers have broken through here in the NLCS. Faced with having to go up against the Dodgers ace, Adam Wainwright. The Dodgers up for the challenge. They win it 3-0. And now it's a 2-1 series.
I think that's the key right there. Los Angeles sent its 2 big guns out there, Greinke and Kershaw. The young pitchers for the St. Louis Cardinals countered against them. They got 2 wins, the Cardinals. But here, Ryu does the same thing, turns the tables on Adam Wainwright.
Yeah, this was a perfect game for them. They needed a well-pitched game from Ryu. I think it was an emotional lift a little bit to have Hanley back in there. He contributed with a productive out and also an RBI. It's the perfect game for the Dodgers, and now they are back in the series.
Shut out in Game 2. They turn around and shut out the Cardinals in Game 3. Ryu was sensational. And the Dodgers with Hanley Ramirez back in the lineup take Game 3. Here's Craig.
Well, Hanley, a couple of hits tonight, an RBI in the 8th. You also advanced Mark Ellis over to third in the 3rd to snap a 22-inning scoreless streak, all with the fractured ribs How are you feeling right now?
What can I say? It couldn't be better, for our crown. And I'm really happy, I think we got the first win and just come back tomorrow and give it up the series.
Too injured to play in game 2. You told me before the game tonight you didn't sleep at all last night. When you were having your treatment and all, what were you thinking about all evening?
I mean, what I was going to do today, how I was going to feel. I got here early. I got all my treatment. Those guys take care of me, and we got the W.
Don Mattingly told you guys before the game to take it easy. Don't try to too much. It looked like Yasiel Puig listened and was really a factor tonight. What's it like to play with him out there, especially tonight?
He brings unbelievable energy every day. We spoke to him, and he told me I got it today. He did. I think he's a great player. He's going to keep learning.
More treatment tonight?
Oh, yeah. We're ready to go tomorrow for our fans and our team and for the city.
All right, thanks a lot. Back to you, EJ.
All right, thank you, Segs. Our final score, the Dodgers over the Cardinals, 3-0. Tune in tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern with MLB postseason pregame on TBS presented by Jeep. For Ron Darling, Cal Ripken, Craig Sager, and the rest of the crew, this is Ernie Johnson bidding you a good night from Los Angeles. TBS, your exclusive home for the National League Championship Series. Now stay tuned for the postseason show on TBS presented by Johnny Walker. And remember to drink responsibly. So long, everybody.